All right, so like I said, I'm gonna send some photos so that way you can get a more detailed look. So I'm gonna start in the living room, and I know you guys already have talked about the flooring in certain areas, and so I won't get too crazy on that. But there's a lot of areas where it's not flush. There's some chips on a lot of the corners. We have corners like this one here, in certain spots that are loose. And there's going to be, in my opinion, I think there's going to be quite a bit of work getting these floors the right way. It just, yeah, I won't harp on that too much. I think you already spoke about this on this last time. So there is some paint touch-ups. Again, that's cosmetic issue, so I'm not gonna harp too much on that, but you can kind of see here, there's, some caulking gaps here. The window frame's got, some cross paint on it. So maybe just coming in here and like touching up some of this with some white paint. Again, a little caulking, holes. These are, like I said, minor in nature, but we wanna make sure everything looks sharp, everything's buttoned up. We have a, window board that's been, cut to make two pieces. Maybe just some, filler here, some wood filler. So let's come over here. I'm just gonna kind of take my time and go through these a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Again, some touch-ups here on the window frames just to make sure all of this is cleaned up. The little caulking stuff, maybe sanding this down and making it flush, making it look a little nicer. Things like that. Everything else on these look okay. Again, just a little bit of the paint on the window trim. Again, this is just all little minor shit that can get taken care of. Some filler here along those window trims. Again, on the door frame, we got some filler that needs to be put in here. Maybe some touch-up paints all along down the door here, just to get it cleaned up. Kind of see where that paint got a little carried away, and maybe just, this is minor shit, man, but it goes a long way to just making the home look, as clean and as good as possible. The boards here are not flush, so maybe filling in some filler here, getting that touched up. This board's really off here, about a couple centimeters. It's not flush, so maybe again, filling this in to make it look a little bit more as one piece as possible. I'm sure, obviously, you're not going to leave the bullet hole. So, those are some things, some baseboards. Again, like this one here, for instance, you can see the cut right off the bat, and maybe filling this in just to make it look flush. Go all the way down. There's some wood filler. I mean, these are little things that I'm sure y'all are gonna get to. I can see that they have some touch-up stuff here, so I just want to give you my assessment so that it's said. And so around here, your electrical socket needs to be filled in here. They'll probably nitpick that on an inspection report. This is just, it looks like the hole was maybe cut a little too wide, and the electrical cap didn't flush over that. So maybe just filling that in, painting it up, and calling it a day. Got yourself a little scratch. That's I know they had a board here drilled in, but filling that back in and painting it over. Obviously, they're not gonna leave it like that, but you got a hole here in the wall, so maybe filling in where that drywall didn't meet all the way to the door frame here. I'll put all this on a YouTube link and send it out your way. Again, the flooring in here is like the other flooring. There's a lot of gaps in the flooring that's not flush. So we know that already, but we'll just say it in here. And this is the same as the other one. There's some window trim that needs to be touched up in here. But all in all, this room looks pretty good. I know they're framing out the door here, but when we do frame it and you do get it all said and done, you'll see, you kind of have pretty good flush here. This one has a bigger gap, and just making sure that we fill that gap in to make it, as smooth as looking as possible when we go to paint. Door looks good. So everything looks good on that door frame, much better. So let's go to the kitchen, because maybe we want to put a little wood filler here. You can see where this is damaged, it's already broken. So maybe just filling that in and just getting that touched up. I'm 6'2", so I can see stuff like that. Maybe the next buyer might not be so tall. There's quite a bit of things in this kitchen that I'm looking at that, you know, stand out to me. One of the main things I see right off the bat when I walk in here is all the cabinet doors are off. If you come here and just go down, you can see how that gap gets wider. That hinge, that door is going down, and you can see under here, it goes, so it's leaning down. Then if I come to this cabinet, it's the same thing. This cabinet is lower, this cabinet is higher again, and you can see the gap there. Let me see, where's my tool at? So give you an idea, if I run it full, my leveler flush underneath, see how it stops at that cabinet. And then if I come here, you can see that gap. So these doors right here are off. This door is the same. If I put my leveler up flush and run across, you can see my leveler is, so this cabinet is off, this one goes down, this one is up. And to give you another point of view, is if I put my leveler down here, flush on this one, you can see again where that cabinet is off. And that I noticed right off the bat when I walked in here. I can just step back from here and just kind of see this one going down, this one going down, this one going up, this one's up, this one's down. And so a lot of that is just, you know, cabinets aren't the easiest things. You know, you got to pre-drill these holes and get them good. And the case in point is you can see how that line starts close to there on the top. And as you go down, it widens out. And, you know, that sucks because, you know, I can see these right off with just a naked eye. Again, we blue taped a couple of these pieces. This is already cracked countertops. That's very hard to replace. You know, once these countertops is there, there's a crack in this one. And then there's already a crack here in this one. It's loose. So you see those things? Those are things that I'm gonna come in here as a buyer agent and think, what's going on here? These cabinets or shelves are off about ½ inch. Shelves on this side, these two are higher, these two are lower. This one goes 42.2, this one is right around 41. So, you know, I can see that with my naked eye. I can see that this cabinet's higher, this cabinet's lower, and that might have been done for reasons, you know, maybe they wanted to stagger them, I'm not sure, but I know that when you're looking at a window that's framed out like that, it's pretty easy to see that those cabinets are not lined up with each other. Then on the cabinet itself, you know, you already have, you know, wear and tear right here. This one probably should have been over here so that at least that scratch was on this side, as opposed to there, where you come in and that's the first thing you see. It's a big eyesore. You know, you got like, you know, you can see where the squares are, so maybe filling that in, painting it over, and just making it look one flush piece. Again, you know, it's obvious that you can see some things like this, and it just, you know, it doesn't look too appealing. The paint in here is, again, kind of needs to be retouched up. All of this, you know, I'm sure this is not going to be the end all be all of these cabinets. I'm sure there's going to be a coat of paint on both sides to you know, make things cleaned up a little bit. But you know, you have, you know, stuff like this that needs to get touched up, and you know, all your, you know, caulking got smeared when, you know, you smeared it out. So you know, that stuff needs to get taken care of as well. So I don't know. You know, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of these shelves. They look like they've been repurposed or reused, the wood itself, but you know, it's all right. You know, it'll look good. I guess we're gonna stage it up with some cups or something. I don't know. Anyways, again, you know, some of these things, like let me give you an example of this one right here. This board is not flush, right? So when we cut this board and you put it on top, it's not flush. It's not flush here. So I can literally get this countertop and move the countertop up and down. I don't know if you can see that, but it's moving. And so, you know, this right here, maybe, I don't know, filling it back in. I know that these things come together the way they are. It's just a matter of, you know, getting them in there as flush as possible and correct. Everything else kind of looks okay here. You know, I'm sure you're gonna want to, you know, touch this up. It's full of paint, or just switch that out. Probably be easier. But come over here. You know, for the most part, everything looks okay here. These cabinets are off as well. Let me see, put my leveler up. You can kind of see where this one hits right off the bat here. If I put my leveler down on this side, you can see where it hits here. Again, on this side seems to be a little bit more flush. This one looks pretty good. So, you know, there's some of those things that I see when I'm coming in here. It's gonna, to me, would draw a red flag. You know, this is just paint touch up where the sheetrock chipped off here. So you just, you know, coming in here and try to do our best doing touch ups. Let's go to the restroom. Sorry guys, it's a little dark. Obviously y'all haven't got no electric, but let me see if I can get it over here. This is probably one of the big things I see here is this, the damn light is sticking over the mirror here. It's not even centered to the mirror frame. And it looks like whatever they did the electrical and they put the hole here should have been centered here, or my leveler is. And so this whole light fixture needs to be moved over and centered here. I mean, it literally sticking out about a good, I don't know, 3 inches off that. It's so dark in here, I'm sorry guys, but there's some caulking issues on these tiles here that needs to get corrected. I'm gonna try to do some photos with some more light in there so you can see. And this flooring here, if I just do here and it's dark, you can see that these tiles are all unlevel. This one sticks up, this one goes down, this one sticks up. And so you have a very unlevel tile. You can see that, I mean, you can just see it right here, all right there, right here's unlevel, right here's unlevel. And then you don't have any, you see this gaps here, there's no cohesiveness in the flooring. If I come, I'm gonna come over here to master bedroom. This light looks a little better. And if I put my leveler here, this is off-centered. It's leaning, it's not flush. If you see now that it's cleared up the bubble, not only is it not centered on the mirror, it's not level either. And I can see that coming right in the door frame. It just goes down. So these are just, I know they're minor, they seem minor, but I'm coming in here and I gotta say what I gotta say in order to make things right. This is these are things that are gonna come up. If I come in here in the shower, all of this is left open. I can actually see the wood here. And as soon as water gets in there, it's gonna rot all that. It's gonna get all behind this tile. This is not good. I can actually put my finger in here right now and reach behind where the tile ends. And so this, I don't know what the solution is to this, but it needs to get closed up pretty quick before somebody moves in. Again, there's gap all in here. I'm not a big fan of using wood where it's gonna have contact with water, right? This wood is gonna get splashed on every day in the shower, and it's gonna get rotted or moldy. And I can put my finger, I can probably stick a quarter in between here, which means water will get back in there, and this needs to be sealed up. Again, the caulking, the grout here, I'm literally can put my fingertip right into the between these two tiles, and that shouldn't be that way. That should be flush. You should have one. You shouldn't be able to put your finger in there and kind of run it down the crack of it. And there, so that's all the way up and down this. Again, this one's a little better, but you can feel where my finger is here. I can put my finger there. So a lot of this tile work needs some grout work and some touch-up paint all through here. Again, these wood borders, I don't know that that was I don't know that that's a great idea to have those there. Now, obviously, you're not going to be living in the house. You're going to sell it, but if I'm coming in here, I'm an inspector, I'm going to knock that right out there and say, hey, this is going to have contact with water. You know, again, these window seals just need to be touched up. There's paint that needs to be touched up here. There's a gap here. I can put my finger up in it. It needs to be sealed up. Yeah. Again, won't harp on the flooring. It is what it is. It'll get done. All of this is, you know, sheetrock work. It looks like there was something here. Maybe like this border was over a little bit. That needs to all be still taken care of. You have stuff like this where the baseboard was not cut right. I mean, I can literally pull this piece out. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Again, it looks like this at one point was over too far and they moved it, and now this is there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece back. Not to piss anybody off, but that's not good. We wanna get that fixed up pretty quick. I'm not sure what that, there's like just a board here, nailed to the ground. I'm not sure what that's for, but maybe if you just paint that up and get that knocked out. So yeah, again, I'm just going room by room, right? Some paint touch-ups, some caulking up in that back corner. You can see that's not done too well. You know, things like this kind of look, you know, it doesn't make it look like it's a new home remodel. It looks like it's a rental that got, you know, a quick update, some paint, and then put back on the market. So I really want this to shine as, you know, the beautiful home that it is. I'm not sure what this is for. Maybe y'all are gonna frame this or not. I don't see it. There's a closet, but there's no framed door in here. So maybe there's gonna be another one of these. And you know, yeah, I don't know. Some baseboard work here. You know, there's baseboard missing here, and that looks, you know, doesn't look too appealing. You know, baseboard ends kind of abruptly here. Maybe there's going to be, I guess, a frame there like this one here. We'll see, maybe. But if whatever we do is we, you know, paint that and clean that up. You know, this is not even, look at that. That's not even level, dude. That's just completely off. So, yeah, you know, there's some work here. There's some issues that I see that are gonna draw some red flags. Again, you know, I'm not trying to harp on anything. I really want to make sure that when we get this house on the market, that, you know, it's in the best condition and it gives you the best opportunity to sell and get the best amount of money. Oh, let me just see this. Look at this window here. Look at all that gap and all this nasty clumped up caulking that's just been painted over, and that looks awful. So that needs to maybe be sanded down, cleaned up. I mean, stuff like that needs to be cleaned up. You know, wood filler to fill that gap in so you don't see that little, you know, openings on the board where it meets the sheetrock. See like that there? You know, to me, that's the little stuff touch-up paint again, you know, this stuff like this, and there's that gap again in those boards that were framed into the window. So there's an issue on the front door I noticed, and we might as well go take a look at that real quick so that we can so check it out. So the door's framed, yeah, so it's kind of flush, you know, not too bad. And then you come over here and this one's just cocked, it's bowed, it's not even flush, you know, it's coming, you can see where for whatever reason it's pulling away here. It's not pulling away, it's sealed down, but it wasn't leveled, it wasn't set on flush, and so you have that, you know, grade. And then if I come down here, it's very, very obvious where the cut is, and that's not flush, it sticks out. And not only does it stick out, it sticks out. It's not flush here either. So it wasn't set back to where it was flush with this. So you can see gaps here. You can see gaps in here. This is not flush. And it's fairly obvious that we, you know, cut pieces of board to make this one level. And then likewise, if I come across this side, again, you can see perfectly where the cut is. This is not level, you can see the gap. And then for some reason, this board was cut here, comes across, and then continues to go across. So this is actually sitting on top of this and is pulled away from the door. So this needs to get cut here, get this out of there, and so this can go back and be flush. If not, that's what it looks like, and it doesn't look appealing coming into the front door. It looks sloppy. Sorry if I'm being a little harsh there, but all of these windows need to be sealed up. I guarantee you, if I'm an inspector coming in here, I'm gonna make sure that, you know, I'm letting you know you don't want to get water or moisture penetration in between there. Likewise, all the way around there with window trims. You know what I mean? See, it goes wide and then it gets, so the framing on this one goes flush, 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 and then it opens up. So the framing on the windowsill is a little off, which is okay because you can cover this up. So you see, and it gets there, flush, 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 and it starts to open it up. So just want to get those things cleaned up, you know. You know, this framing board is bowed already outside. There, you can see behind there, you can see like, you know, where holes were drilled and re-drilled and re-drilled. I can see quite a few of them there. So, I mean, I can put my whole hand back here and just probably pull that sucker right off. You know, and then you come to this one looks a lot better. It's not bowed. You can't put your, I mean, you're gonna have that little gap because of the tile, but I can't really go in there and just, you know, sealing those areas off on the windows just to make sure they're nice and tight. So it looks better. You'll get your electrical done. Inspector's gonna come knock you for this out. This is not a light fixture. This is not a weatherproof light fixture. So this needs to be, I mean, seriously rethought. This isn't, not only does it not look good, this is gonna get you knocked, man. This has got some exposed weathering issues. If there's water that gets in there, that can be electrical issue. You're gonna get knocked on that 100%. You got stuff like this, you know. It's not, I mean, you might as well come in here and repaint it. Yeah, again, some sealing in those window seals. Yeah. Let's go here. Big old pile of dog shit. So ideally this electrical box, your AC is gonna go here. You want your electrical box to be about 37 inches outside of that. So this electrical box would have been ideal here. It's not a big deal as long as the inspector can get to it. But he's gonna write it up, just so you know. It's not a huge deal, but he's gonna write it up because it's supposed to be a little further out. Likewise on this one, but it's cool. You know, you have a nice tankless water heater. You might want to think about sealing that off, putting something around it so nobody comes and messes with this thing. We want to get this sealed up because this is not flush. This is a waterproof, and this is supposed to be flush against that wall to keep water or outside elements from getting in. And it defeats the purpose of having this box with this little washer here if it's not flush against this wall, and the inspector will knock you for that. Again, just getting those things sealed up. If you have the time, this is, again, we both know that this is not indicative of concrete or structural issue, but for a buyer to come in here, they don't know shit. An agent, you can't leave it to the agent to know. I would just go get yourself a quick set from Home Depot and just run a good little smooth, because it's all kind of down this way. It's just, you know, just smooth it out, you know what I mean? Make it look flush. In this corner where it's kind of eroded in this corner, you know, just making it nice and flush all the way around, making it look like one big piece. Again, here, the same thing. And I would definitely 100% fill this back in. It not only does it not look good curb appeal, it just, you can see the rebar underneath it. And that's the rebar, the suspension cables from the patio slab into the foundation that they used. And you don't want people to see that. You want to get this all nice and cleaned up, covered up, you know. I'm not sure what's going on, if this is a water line coming out, maybe here to here, but we want to get that covered up. And we want to get these covered up here, get that sealed in there. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything on the outside as far as light fixtures goes. So those look good, those look good, those look good. Bear with me, guys. Just take one more walk to make sure I don't see any other light fixtures that may get you dinged. No, everything look good. Look, let's see this one here, just to make sure. So again, see how this is got some kind of stuff in here, and this is not flush to the wall. Again, you're gonna get dinged on that. These things need to be, they're made to be flush against the wall. This washer needs to be flush. It's a water protector. It keeps from, and anytime it rains, this shit's gonna get, that shit will get right in there, and it'll start to rot this siding out. So you guys, you know, this has got to be done a little bit better. You're gonna get dinged on that on an inspection report. So, you know, there's some things here that I would say, you know, get this video and get some, you know, just kind of touch it up a little bit, you know, try to make it as best as possible. I'll run the numbers again and get you right now, the way I want to be able to tell you that we can go in there and list this sucker for, you know, X dollars, but until we kind of get those things squared away, I'll give you a better assessment. I know, again, I'm not trying to be a bitch about it, but look, these windows are off. It's like a little step. 1, 2, 3. So this one's lower. This center board is not flush with this side, not flush with this side. This side goes up. Again, here, you can see quite literally the boards are not, the framing is not flush on these windows. Again, You know, you see the board cuts, not flush. This one's flush, and getting all those gaps filled in. So you don't have any flashing on the roof. So when you do the roof, hopefully they'll do it soon. We don't have to talk about the roof. You guys already know. I've already talked to you about the roof. That'll be a huge issue, holding you back from your money. Outside of that, I mean, it looks good. It looks much better than we did. There's some work that still needs to be done on the house to get you where you need to be. I think personally, it's just coming in here and taking some time and just kind of going through this house and just kind of with a fine-tooth comb, kind of trying to smooth some things out here so it looks as new as possible. Again, right now, I'm not trying to sound rude to anybody, right? Because we're all here to work together, but it does seem like it's already been lived in, and we don't want that feeling because obviously it never has been lived in, but it has that feeling that, oh, they came in here, it looks nice, they touched it up, but there's scratches, there's breaks in the cabinets, the cabinet doors are unlevel, these are unlevel, there's scratches in them. So we want to make sure that we're giving them the best product and they feel like, yeah, you know what, this is a badass house. You know, it's freshly, outside of the foundation that was left here. I mean, these guys really came in here and did a number, getting all these paint touch-ups, things like that, essentially, we're looking into, this is what I would consider new home construction with the exception of the foundation and the framing that was here. So you just really want to make sure that we give them that wow factor when they walk in here. So yeah, like I said, this restroom here, again, that tile flooring is really unlevel here. Can't really show you too much here because it's just dark, guys. You know what I mean? This wood framing, again, I'm not a fan of wood here, but it's done a lot better than the master bedroom. I really don't like wood where it's going to be in contact with water. It's going to rot. It's going to wither away. It's not a good idea. This light kills me, dude. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, that's that. Again, if you guys have any questions or you guys want to walk it one more time, just let me know and we can get in here. I know they're not done. So again, don't want to be a dick about anything. I know there's still work being done here. Touch-up paint's going to be doing. You got some floor product. So hopefully, we'll get all the flooring taken care of, ripped out and replaced, or what the best we can do to get, the flooring done. But, we're on our way to progress. We're on our way to success. We'll talk to you soon.